Following last week's tragic event that happened in Benue State, terrorists massacred more than 200 persons, and the Nigerian government refused to react to it in any official capacity. No government agency or spokesperson of Tinubu ever reacted to the tragic event. In fact, Tinubu didn't react to it, but he had the time to post a condolence message to India. In that message, he condoled with the Prime Minister Modi on the plane crash that happened in India, which was also a very tragic event. It was after he posted that message that Nigerians started calling him out. What about your own country? Charity should begin at home. You haven't condoled the people of Benue State, but you are condoling Indians that are far away from your own country, as if he's there to govern to impress others instead of impressing his own people. Now, Peter Obi has reacted. He has joined forces with Nigerians calling out Tinubu for not showing empathy to Nigerians. In a message he posted on his verified X handle, he said, "What cannot be hidden is leadership. Leadership of a nation is such that it is either succeeding or failing. None can be hidden. There are critical areas of leadership that must exist for a nation to move forward. And these are summed up in 4 C's: competence, capacity, character, and compassion. Where these 4 are non-existent, there is no magic you can do. It's in this line that I have always maintained that we must move away from voting based on tribe and religion and begin to vote for people with competence, capacity, character, and compassion, because we have all seen painfully what leadership without these qualities has done to our country. Competence, because Nigeria today needs a leader who understands the issues, who has the knowledge, experience, and clear ideas to solve them. Capacity, because it is not a ceremonial position. It requires strength, stamina, and the mental energy to confront our complex challenges. And above all, leadership must be rooted in character and integrity, because without integrity, public trust collapses, corruption thrives, and selfishness takes over. But perhaps most importantly, we need compassion, because when a leader lacks compassion, human lives are treated as statistics and suffering is ignored. Sadly, the evidence is right before our eyes. Recently, we witnessed severe flooding in Niger State that claimed nearly 200 lives, with many still missing, yet not even a single presidential visit. This in a nation where the scene of the tragedy is less than an hour away by helicopter. Just days ago, over 200 Nigerians, innocent men, women, children, and even soldiers were massacred in Benue State. Again, no presidential visit, no physical presence at the scenes of pain, no genuine national mourning, no leadership face to comfort the grieving or give hope to the people. Yet, we have seen what true leadership looks like elsewhere. In India, after a plane crash killed nearly 200 people, the Prime Minister was physically at the scene within hours. In South Africa, when floods claimed 78 lives, the President went personally to the affected communities, stood with them, and took responsibility. That is leadership with compassion. That is leadership that understands the value of human life. But here in Nigeria, we have normalized leadership without empathy, without accountability, and without a human face. That is why I insist Nigeria does not need another president. Nigeria needs a leader with competence, capacity, character, and compassion. Until we choose leaders on these principles, the cycle of pain will only continue. There's no other way to put it. What Peter Obi said in this message is the stark reality. He took Tinubu to the cleaners. But seriously, why would any patriotic Nigerian, whether he supports APC, Tinubu, or anybody else, why would that person not see the light, not see the truth, not agree with what he said in this message? Is Tinubu bigger than the president of South Africa? Is Nigeria richer than South Africa? Is Nigeria richer than India? Or is Tinubu bigger than the Indian Prime Minister? But here we are, they humbled themselves. The Indian Prime Minister visited the only survivor from that ill-fated air crash. Also, the South African president visited the victims of flood, despite the fact that the victims and the casualties were not as high as the victims of the flooding in Niger State. But he didn't think it through that he needed to visit. He felt, I'm the king. Even if I have to do something, they will have to come to Abuja and see me because I'm the king. Now, to top it off, after P2B wrote this message, he now released a statement saying that he will find out time out of his busy schedule to visit Benue State on Wednesday. So you can see, after being dragged by Nigerians on social media, he finally climbed down from his high horse and decided to do the right thing. But what busy schedule is better than human lives? You are a very busy person, but whatever you are doing being busy doesn't reflect on the lives of Nigerians. Because if you are busy tackling insecurity, people wouldn't be massacred on a daily basis across Nigeria, across the Middle Belt and other hotspots around the country. So this is the reality. All indices, all metrics of the economy, all of them are in the negative, despite the fact that he's claiming to be a very busy man. So he's been busy destroying Nigeria and killing Nigerians. Yes, that's what it means. Because if he's truly that busy, if they are not politicking, look at this image. They released it around the same time the massacre happened in Benue State. Without shame, they released this image instead of condoling with the people, all the people that have been losing their lives across the Middle Belt. Instead of condoling with them or even releasing a message, they released a photo about politics. Everything to them is politics. You have to be alive first before playing politics, before even talking about their country. If you no longer exist, you don't know anything concerning a country. You are not talking about patriotism. You have to be alive. You have to have hope in the country before you talk about patriotism. The country must be doing something for you before you become patriotic. Patriotism doesn't come automatically. No, it is like give and take. If the country gives you something, you have to pay back something in return. And that thing you are paying back in return is that patriotism. But here, they feel that you can measure patriotism, that anyone that suddenly starts following the government and supporting whatever they are doing has suddenly become more patriotic than the other. They don't know that patriotism is different from loyalty to an individual. Yes, if you are loyal to Tinubu, you can't be loyal to an individual and claim to be loyal to your country. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't work. If you are loyal to your country, you must call out all the wrong things they are doing, because Nigerians handed the leadership over to them. They are supposed to make sure things work. But in a situation all the things are in reverse gear, Nigerians were living better lives before they came to power, and you continue supporting them. No, you are being loyal to individuals, you are not loyal to the country. Because if you are loyal to the country, you will not support the country's economy being destroyed. Yes. And to all the people that made excuses for him, making laughable excuses why he shouldn't visit accident scenes or places where people were massacred, he has now turned around and called you fools. Yes, that's what it means. Because you're busy in the streets, on social media, everywhere, making excuses on their behalf, and the person you're making excuses for has now turned around and said, okay, I will visit the place. So you must stop supporting individuals or being loyal to individuals. You have to be loyal to the country called Nigeria. And if you're loyal to the country called Nigeria, you will always be thinking in the national interest, in the people's interest, not the interest of individuals. This is how patriotism works. And to think that the same Tinubu criticized Goodluck Jonathan when he was in opposition. There was nothing he didn't say to Goodluck Jonathan about insecurity. They told him that the buck stops at his table. Today, they are shifting blames. They are even making laughable excuses to the extent that they are saying that people should hold their local government chairmen accountable for insecurity, when they don't even command the police. Some take it a notch higher, claiming that people should hold their governors to account, not the person that commands the police, all the armed forces, and all security agencies in Nigeria. So you can see, it is not about following individuals or just supporting for the sake of support. It is about supporting the right thing, because injustice knows no one. It can't identify you by tribe or religion or any way. It can knock on your door any day, and that would be your day of injustice. Recently, one APC chairman was kidnapped. APC at the local level, maybe local government chairman or even ward. Maybe that chairman might have been part of those that keep supporting bad governance, keep supporting anything just because it is their own man that is in power. And the worst part in that situation was the fact that he paid ransom, but at the end of the day, they still took the ransom and took his life. So these are the issues. Stop supporting individuals. Stop being loyal to a human being. Be loyal to your country. If you're loyal to your country, you should call them out whenever they are doing the wrong thing. Kidnapping shouldn't exist in Nigeria to start with. Yes, they are in leadership. They should take charge and do all the right things to make sure Nigeria works for everyone. If Nigeria starts working, the people in power today wouldn't even need to campaign in the next election. Yes, that's the reality. Nigerians are nice people. They will vote for them. They will even campaign for them in the airwaves on social media to say, things are better than before. They will willingly vote for them. But in this situation, they are not interested in doing the work. They are only campaigning. Everything about what they are doing is campaign. They don't care about all the massacres, all the insecurity, all the sufferings they brought on Nigerians. They don't give a damn. Despite having the control of the National Assembly, he can't use that power to make certain changes that wouldn't have been possible if you don't have control of the National Assembly. But he can't do that. All the power, he's just using it to show, I'm the king. If you don't bow to me, you will suffer. I will do anything I want to you. All they think is politics. And the reason they do that is because they are only interested in enriching themselves. They are not interested in building the country to work for everyone. If the country works for everyone, they can even continue stealing without people being bothered. Yes, in the 70s, in the 80s, politicians were stealing money just like they are stealing today, but Nigerians weren't so much bothered because at least life was easy at the time. Your salary could take you home. Unlike today, when you are paid 70,000 as minimum wage, an amount of money that has less value than 33,000 naira minimum wage Nigerians used to earn more than 10 years ago. Can you imagine that? Thanks for watching.